Hello, folks. So, in a way, like, it kind of reminds me of Synchronicity too. A little bit, don't you think? We'll keep it going as long as you want to, right? So, okay, so I was born in 1972, and then we were like hippie-ish, There's a land that I see where the children are free. They say it ain't far to this land from where we are. And then in the 80s we got David Bowie, we got Def Leppard, and then in the 90s we got Nirvana. It's just like over the top Nirvana. Like, it's not acid rock, it's not Aerosmith, but to me it's a bit more of a sincere genre, the Seattle rock, to me, at that era, from that era. But I was already married and soon to have a child almost to have a child, when this album came out. So, I'm like, I know it's not my generation, but every song on the album In Utero, which I had on cassette, I really enjoyed. We didn't really have... CDs were not that widespread. CDs at that time, that is to say compact discs, before they had MP3s. They were rather expensive, all right? And so I listened to it over and over again because my husband worked, I was pregnant, I was suffering from morning sickness and just pregnancy in general, living in student housing on the campus, or off campus, but pretty much on the campus of the Ohio State University. I listened to it over and over again. I don't know why it was so comforting to me. I guess it was just so different from Harry Belafonte and the Carpenters and everything my parents listened to, including Wagner, but maybe not that much different. Anybody could, if they got a break, they could be a big-time musician. That's my opinion. However, unfortunately, Mr. Cobain died prematurely of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, apparently. I feel bad about it, just like I feel bad that my brother offed himself by jumping off a building. It's not funny, folks. I mean, how do you think that somebody deals with this when you grew up in a household where people were just histrionic, and then, we pretend everything's okay in public when we go to family gatherings, everything's great. I remember how my face used to ache because I was smiling so much at the family gatherings because my happiness was so fake. It was actually making my face hurt. And I was like so glad that I wouldn't have to do that for another 6 months or a year to see the rest of my phony relatives. I'm sorry, it's just kind of true. Okay. But it does not mean that I am not grateful for the life that I live right now. Actually, I feel like I'm living in nirvana in a way. I know that nirvana is a Buddhist term. It's a place without pain. But really, nobody's bothering me. Nobody really wants to live in this neighborhood. It's like, it's not sought after. It's not seen as... these homes were built practically the year I was born, a little bit after, and some a few years after that. And everybody thinks, well, these are just old places. And people don't realize that, yeah, I know after a while, old things just do begin to look old. It doesn't mean that they weren't built right in the first place. So consider that about human beings. Yeah. If we're all made in the image of God, yeah, just because the exterior begins to deteriorate or some things begin to look outdated doesn't mean that they're not perfect in God's eyes. Before I knew you, I formed you in the womb, right? I hope I'm not paraphrasing, getting it mixed up again, but God is the one who made human beings. And, well, I know a lot of people want to be rich, but I think, quite honestly speaking, in general, I think society is becoming a complete zoo. Because now, all of a sudden, we're just deciding we don't want to follow rules and regulations. We're going to riot. We're going to do whatever we want. We're going to just do it. I don't want to be around those kinds of people. I'd rather be with the humble people living in the country. Because I think that's where I'm going next. Just living in the country. You can have your city. It's fine. It's yuck. I'd rather have my chickens and my acre of land and fresh air rather than your highfalutin society, which is becoming increasingly violent and ignorant. And that's my social commentary for today. Adios.